Okay, so we are in the midst of this. I've made the incision. As you can tell, it tucks all here, and here's my extra skin. So now I'm going to remove, this is one of my favorite parts. I'm going to remove this mask, which is the submuscular aponeurotic system, and that is what will lift it. So, looks really red. It's not really that red. So, anyway, so here's this mask. I'm going to pull this, and can you see the difference that's making in her chin? It's going to pull that up. So that's how we're going to get this elevated right here. Some people use this for lips, but it's going to make just as uneven of a lip as it is now. So I don't do that. Whenever it bleeds, you just stop it. So she's had some local too. So this is my layer. Of mask. That I'm going to take and I'm going to make some sutures, and that's what's going to give me a jawline that you can't see. I'm going to undermine just a little bit. And to undermine just means to raise up. So I'm going to take this little bit of mask that I removed, and I'm going to make a little plane underneath. And that's what I'm going to use to elevate it and to lift it up. When facelifts first started, people did this with skin. That's what gives you a windblown look. So we inject with local. Sometimes it bleeds a little bit. It's the same type of local you use at the dentist. So Tisha's going to lock that for me by kind of rotating the suture. And you're going to see how it pulls on the jawline. That's what allows you to lift the jaw. So I always start at the ear. No two facelifts are alike. This is why I don't think that thread lifting works, because you have to do it blindly. Like, I can see exactly what I marked and exactly where I think this needs to go. So can you see how much pull I get when I pull that? And she's going to lock it around this suture. I do not use permanent sutures. Taking out too many. So can you see how much of a lift she gets when we do that? Then I'm going to find the next spot. That's going to be perfect for that. I'm going to make it now I'm right in front of the tragus. I'm going to take it and pull until I see my lines of the things I'm trying to lift come up. And it's going to rotate. And Tisha's holding that. And then I'm going to take this, I'm going to cross it through so I'll loop it. And then as I pull it, you can see her face lift. That's what keeps something looking very natural.
Yeah, I don't know where the light. There we go. I fixed it.
So when you smile, put one here. And then I'm going to find this spot. Just going to leave that. These are all very personalized to these marks that I have all over her face. If I were trying to do it blindly, I couldn't be nearly as specific. By blindly, I mean when people stick, thank you for the hearts, when people stick thread lifts in there. Someday I think that technology will be there, and when it does, I'll be the first to get it. That and cellulite technology. Okay, so
did you see Grant?
Grant says hey.
Your homework. Okay, so I'm going to pull this, and I'm going to look and see exactly where I want it. These sutures will absorb and her body will make it just like it should be. When you have permanent sutures, it can be a lot more difficult because over time they erode, and we've seen lots of complications from that. Not that we don't, that's why we don't do them. I can't wait for that technology to be there. So I'm looking at her neck. She really wants a jawline. Nobody wants to lose their jawline. You see how that makes that? These are just sutures that her body will take over and replace with scar. So this is going to come up. You can make it where they can see that. And sometimes you're going to find a few places where it puckers. And I'm just going to gently release that. Y'all feel free to ask any questions. She's breathing on her own. Most people, when they want a facelift, they know to come in and say, I want this. Okay, so I'm going to lift this. We're going to clean and make sure we don't have anything. I'm going to retract and show you where we are. All kinds of things can make you bleed more during surgery. Fish oils are a big one. We don't use any kind of paralysis so we can see. Her face moves, we'll know. Which is important. Plus, all the superficial nerves are going to be superior to this line. Sorry.
I can look at
Well, maybe I'll just a little. So you can see.
because you started it, but that's very fixed.
So she has been injected, and now I'm going to show you how to remove the skin. So I'm going to decide what angle. Now I want to release this a little bit more. When people get funny lines, it's usually, those are the little ligaments that protect them and hold the skin down. And sometimes they just have to be released. Sometimes it's an old scar. And you don't see it till you start to pull. Now this is the line I won't cross. Some people cross them. I'm going to draw. So on the top, this is the extra skin that's going to come out. Is all this. You use a stapler where the hair is. And to hold it. And then I'm just going to start trimming off the extra skin. Now she's young, she doesn't have a whole lot. But it still ends up making a big difference. And extra skin is something you can't get rid of like you can lines and texture. So that's the skin that's going to come from there. I'm going to bevel my blade so the hair will grow back through it. Then I come back and fine tune these. To make sure that lines up, and I'll put lots of layers of suture. Skin edges have to be averted. So then there, I'll take that out and I'll have a little more. So, now we're waiting for her ear. I'm going to be very careful on this part. Somebody said there's not a lot of pain. It's unbelievable. Face just doesn't hurt. So that's good there. I don't want that pulled. If somebody takes too much, this can pull down and then it can look like you've had a facelift. This is my favorite part. There's always curve in the direction of the ear. That way the incisions are well hidden, and if it's just a millimeter, you have to get it. I'm going to find her tragus. And trim a little more, and then I will show you sewing it up. Stay tuned.